intrigued now.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
When you said that about family, I think that's extremely, extremely important. I think that's the only thing that is important to me, if you ask me. The family and the connections that I make, the meaningful, deep connections with my friends that I make, and my family, that has been the biggest blessing. My sister, she is another one of my
Cheerleader.
biggest cheerleaders. So yeah, there have been days that she joined. Yeah, and then recently there was again, even with 6 students right now who are signed up for my classes. There are days when there are no shows, right? And my husband was there. It was a Tuesday, and I just messaged her, and I know that Guinea would be around as well, and she has this little cute son who sometimes has a different sleep time and decides to sleep a little late, so she cannot show up for my classes the days that she has committed to. So I just sent her a message, okay, it hasn't started yet. Do you want to jump on? Let's do family yoga. And 3 of us did it. And it was just recently. We have been doing it together as well. You would have seen her showing up in the classes. So yeah, that gives a lot of confidence. And the other great thing is, okay, my sister is my cheerleader, so she will support me no matter what. But that's not true for my mom or for my husband. They are good critics, so they tell me what is not up to the mark yet, where you can improve, and I'm truly blessed. So they wouldn't say just for the sake of making me feel good. I mean, they would do it for certain things, but whenever the right feedback is required, I have it right there next to me, coming from the people who love me, and then it gets received very well. So they just like that wouldn't say. I can go and ask them, did I do well? Are my instructions clear during my yoga session? And I would get the perfect feedback that I need to hear and improve on. It's a huge blessing. And my connection to yoga, like you said, has it been your family's love for yoga? I wouldn't say it that way because yoga as a word was not there being used in the family, but my family, all of them, it's not just my parents, but my uncles, my aunts. I come from a family who has always been exploring and seeking, and my dad, biggest explorer. So I have observed him. I have observed others, my mamaji and my mommy. Everybody is spiritual. They are grounded. They are accomplished, but they are still seeking. So they keep doing new things. They keep doing brave things, and that sets an example. Yes. And when you grow up observing all of that, how much ever limited your interactions with your parents are, you just observe, or with your extended family is you. Obviously, with your uncles and aunts, you meet them once in a year or twice in a year. But when you understand, and also their relationship with your parents, it all no bullshit kind of relationship. These are all very meaningful relationships that my family portrays. And from that generation down to this generation, it has gotten passed on very beautifully. And I can say it with confidence because I see it in my younger cousins, in my older cousin brothers, everybody.
Yeah. Well, clearly, clearly, I think you come from a solid background, an extended family, and there is a lot of support. But there are so many people, of course, this is like ideal in an Indian setting because Indian families are generally huge, big, and then yes, if you you're still blessed if you are in the right kind of environment that help you thrive and grow. Not every Indian family is like that as well. So I see that when you started with your introduction, how loved you are with all those relationships that you have in your life, that clearly tells the kind of support that you have received. But at the same time, we all are not um, deprived from our share of grief or our share of troubles or problems in our lives. So tell us more, like what are the challenges that you face? Like if I see you being very consistent and disciplined with your classes, you show up even if there is a no show in the classes. And as a student of yours, that's what matters to me when I see it, So, but it must have not been always easy, for you to do this. But how do you manage to do that? And tell us more about the challenges. Because while one side of the story where we want to tell happy story to everyone, that, hey, I'm blessed and everything is so fancy and good and gold. There is always this, other side of the coin as well. But the main thing is that you're still showing up, smiling, and just battling everything nicely.
That is interesting you brought up. So, yeah. So I'm glad you pointed that out. Me feeling blessed, and it is in this moment, and it is after so many years of my life that I have realized and understood, learned to see my life through that lens. It has not always been like that. I have not always felt blessed. Obviously, I have grown up like a regular girl. I have been rebellious. I have been a teenager. I have felt that the entire world is against me. I don't know what my parents think, having no connection, no understanding. It's now, after having this level of maturity, I'm still not properly matured yet. There's a lot to learn, a lot to understand and grasp. But yes, it is now that I feel it, and I choose to feel it that way. It's just a reminder for myself. It's not always like that. And it's not like all the people that I'm talking about, they do not have any other side to them. Yes, there is, but I choose to see that part. I choose to see the part which inspires me. Right? In the family, there is always good, bad, ugly, and everyone has those aspects. I have that too. Not everyone will always say that Rini is amazing, right? In a moment they will say, but then there are other aspects of me. Especially when my husband is watching this, he'll be like, okay, this is the person I don't know. I see her only online when she goes live, but otherwise, oh my God, ask me who she is. Right? So he gets to see my bad and ugly.
Yeah.
Right? And here I am, good, or portraying. So yes, that happens when you talk, and when it is a structured conversation, when you're conscious, yes, everything you try to convey is good, but it's not. So struggles, there have been those times, I would not say just times, those have been very long times of me feeling like I have fallen in some very deep well, and waiting for some help, right? And there comes a point when and another thing is, even at that point, there are things that I have accomplished which others might see and feel that, oh, her life is perfect, but I am feeling that I have fallen into some well and I need help. I needed help, and I have screamed as well. I've screamed at the top of my voice. So after that happens, and I'll not tell any specific examples, but something which is relatable is, I didn't even know for quite some time that I had postpartum depression. Postpartum depression is something relatable, and I couldn't even term it that way that time. I know it now. And I had some kind of anxiety, or some kind of that low feeling with every big change in my life, right? Going to the hostel, going to a different city to study, and having to live in the hostel all by myself, surrounded by girls who are at different level in their life, in their mind. People can be really harsh, people can be kind. So you get a mix of everything and you're absolutely confused. And slowly all of these things start to build in you, which leads you to that point where then you can label it as your anxiety or depression. But I never labeled it myself. I was feeling something is changing, and that tension, that turmoil is getting built inside. And it kept building with every big change. Then I moved for my job. I kept moving cities. I got married, another big change. So yeah, every big change brings that downward pull, which makes you fall in that well where you are screaming for help. Now, you do get help sometimes, but not in the same way that you are expecting. And that time you don't even realize that this is the help that you need. You don't even take that help. What the journey with myself has been in all that while, whatever was happening outside, and sometimes you're so close that you're not even receiving any sort of help. You're just screaming with your eyes closed, not even noticing if there is any help available. So there is one story that has always been close to me, and I remind myself, again, I'm not very avid reader and I do not have too many quotations or stories. But there's one thing that I heard. So there was one very weak person who was in his living in his small hut and waiting for help. He used to feel that he's not capable of doing anything, and every night he would sleep and ask God for help. He would get just one dream constantly, that there is a lion who has done hunting and got that food, whatever hunt that he has had, and whatever are the leftovers are left outside the place where a fox is sleeping, an injured fox or whatever. So there is one person who is going for hunting and procuring for himself or herself, one being, and the other one is feeding on the leftovers. So every day he used to get up and think, okay, somebody will leave that food for me outside my door. Because he was thinking he is that injured fox or injured, animal inside the cave, and some lion will drop something in front of his hut because he is feeling he is incapable, right? And he was interpreting his dream of this dream of his in that he is the injured person because he is feeling helpless. Until one day, and this happened constantly for several days, until one day when he thought, what if I am the lion? Right? And that changes everything. What if I have to go hunt and then I have to leave something for someone else injured?
Yes.
Right? I to feel helpless. So once you have that eureka moment, and it doesn't come always. Sometimes it takes so many days, and sometimes someone else has to feed this information to you. That okay, shift your perspective. Let me drag you. So yeah, for me now it has been. Whenever I feel myself again back in that thing, I think, no, I have to go be that lion. Probably someone else is waiting for me. So gather yourself and do whatever is needed.
This is an excellent story and a great reminder that, well, a couple of things that I just noticed is you use the word choice. I chose to see, I chose to be, right? Choices is exactly what makes or breaks the future that we are moving towards, right? And it's people don't realize it, but it's every single moment of our life we are making choices one way or the other, and every single choice leads us to the next path in our journeys, and it is the choices that defines what outcome we will be getting. And very rightly said that what is the side that you want to see? There's always two sides of the coin. Which is the one that you want to see becomes who you are, and then creates a ripple effect that goes on to well-connected families like yours. So if you are that one person who has chosen to see the positive, that choice doesn't stay with you. It has a ripple effect, and that choice then influence or impact everybody else around you that are connected with you. And your choice with their choices creates those permutations and combinations. And that's where nobody is same. Nobody has the same, path of whatever sort that they are working on. That's the reason there are as many people, as many infinite possibilities of permutations and combinations of the life experiences. But eventually it all leads to what is the choice that you're making today. And the other part of it that I was just reflecting from your point, that when we started, it felt like, oh, you're very protected by your family, by your uncles and your aunts. But then you have had your own struggles that you choose not to focus on those. That's number one. But that doesn't mean that those were absent from your lives. And postpartum depression, we touched on a very vulnerable topic, which you're right, we don't even know that is there. Even if we know the term, we tell lies to ourselves, or maybe we just don't know that we're telling lies to ourselves that we do have it. Some of those things we think it happens to other people, not to us, and but it is all there. And the third point that you pointed out very rightly, as you said, it is a process to understand. And sometimes, you get it because somebody told you something and it just clicks, and then you understand, oh, this is this. And other times, life gives you that roller coaster and then you learn it. Life has its own way to teach you. But in all essence, it is a process, and nothing comes easy, but you choose to focus on the love that you receive, and then the challenges that you have had and made the person that you are. And those challenges as well are opportunities in your life, and that's how you choose to see those challenges too. So it's so brilliant. And the story that you shared, oh my God, like I'm going to use that story somewhere. I don't know where, but yes, it is very beautiful. That are you the lion or the fox? And what is it that you want to choose to be in that moment? There are times that you choose to be a lion, but other times you probably want to choose to be a fox as well. But as long as it is happening consciously, as long as your choices are conscious in a way that you know where you're going, what you're doing, is all that matters. Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with being that injured fox and recognizing getting burnt out because getting exhausted and getting burned is real. Sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves, and we just keep thinking that we have to go out hunting. But it's okay if you have someone and you can let them care for you. So you can be the fox and sit back and relax and let the other lion go hunting, right?
That's right. There's so many perspectives to the story. Don't just think that you always have to be the lion, or don't think that somebody be the fox is not doing the right thing. But I think if you bring that human consciousness into it, and then choose what you want to be in that situation, will, I think, define the path forward for you, or whosoever, basically. But yeah, I think, no, it's very...
Yes, we are here, and I think it's very clear that we have already decided not to derive the conventional meanings. We have always questioned the conventional, and it's not that we don't respect that. We do respect what has been passed on for generations in terms of meanings of those stories, but it's always healthy to question it and find that different perspective. And I always think that I can never take sides. I'm always on this side and that side. If I'm listening to two people, and most of the time it happens is I understand both their perspectives, and I think, okay, yeah, both are right. So, which is good sometimes and which is not good sometimes when you have to take a decision. So yeah, that's who I think I am. It has its positives and negatives, but then I seek help. It's hard. It is very hard to tell yourself that you need help for a certain thing. That's very difficult for some people as well.
Yes.
I'm one of those. I would know that I'm completely, almost dead and I need help, but it takes courage to ask for that help and understand that you're worthy of it.
Mm.
And it's not final. It's not like that if you become at that receiving end, if you are right now at that receiving end, you cannot be at the providing end, maybe in the next moment, maybe in the next month or year or whatever. You can always keep going from one side to the other.
That's very
One
beautiful.
thing
Yeah.
doesn't define you, right?
That's right. You don't have to be, you don't have to stay at a particular place playing a particular role in a certain manner. You can always switch. You can always improve. You can always, yes, you can always shift. You can always go to the next level.